I'm so glad you found your way here, right now, somewhere in the world. A dog is curling into sleep beside someone they love. A wolf is settling into its den with its pack. And wild canids are following ancient patterns written in their bones. Tonight, you'll discover how dogs behave, communicate, and connect across thousands of years of evolution, and understand why the bond between humans and dogs might be the most remarkable relationship in nature. Welcome to the Sleepy Safari. Wherever you are right now, perhaps with your own dog breathing softly nearby, or remembering a dog you once loved, allow yourself to rest in this gentle curiosity about our oldest companions. We'll explore 100 animal facts about dog behavior across all canids, from loyal house dogs to wild wolves, from clever foxes to ancient dingoes, from the tail wag that means I trust you, to the howl that echoes through wilderness, to the gaze that bridges two species in understanding. These quiet explorations of nature's hidden worlds plant seeds of tranquility in searching hearts. Your gentle support helps more nature seekers find their way here and brings us closer to protect this healing ground, one sleepy soul at a time. Your presence here nurtures our growing forest of peace. Settle deeper into your pillows now. Let your shoulders drop. Your breathing slow and steady. You don't need to remember every behavioral fact. Just feel that peaceful heaviness spreading through you, like a dog curling into its favorite spot, sighing contentedly, releasing the day, safe and warm and ready for rest. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're resting where millions of dogs also rest tonight. Connected by the ancient bond between human and canid, let your mind settle with canine wisdom. And now we begin. Dogs can read human emotions by looking at our faces. And recent research from 2024 shows they process facial expressions in the same left hemisphere of their brain that humans use. When you smile at a dog, their brain lights up in regions associated with positive emotion and reward. When you frown, different areas activate, areas linked to caution and assessment. This isn't learned behavior taught by one owner. It's a deep cognitive adaptation that evolved over 30,000 years of living alongside humans. Dogs are the only non-primate species that naturally looks at human faces to read emotion. And they do it better than chimpanzees. Your dog doesn't just see your expression. They understand it, process it, and respond to your emotional state as if it were their own. The tail wag is not a simple sign of happiness. Dogs communicate complex information through tail position, speed, and direction. Research published in 2023 confirmed that dogs wag more to the right side when they see something positive. Their owner, a friendly dog, something they like. They wag more to the left when they encounter something uncertain or negative. A stranger, an aggressive dog, something that makes them cautious. This happens because the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body and processes positive emotions, while the right brain hemisphere controls the left side and processes negative emotions. Other dogs can read this asymmetry instantly. A right-biased wag says friend. A left-biased wag says be careful. Your dog's tail is speaking a language older than words. Wolves howl to communicate across vast distances, and each wolf's howl is unique like a human voice. Pack members can identify each other by sound alone, even miles apart. When one wolf howls, others often join in, not randomly, but in harmonizing pitches that avoid overlap, creating a chorus that sounds like more wolves than actually exist. This behavior, called the beau geste effect, makes the pack sound larger to potential rivals. Domestic dogs retain this ability, which is why your dog might howl at sirens or music. They're trying to harmonize, to join the pack song. Studies from 2025, using AI analysis of wolf howls, found that packs in different regions have distinct dialects. Like human accents, the howl is not just communication, it's identity, belonging, and the voice of the wild. Dogs understand pointing gestures better than any other animal, including primates raised by humans. When you point at something, a dog will look where you're pointing, following your gesture to find hidden food or objects. Wolves, even those raised in human homes, rarely do this. Chimpanzees, our closest relatives, struggle with human pointing, but dogs grasp it instinctively, even as puppies with no training. Research from the University of Vienna in 2024 suggests this ability is genetic, bred into dogs through thousands of generations of selecting the animals most attuned to human communication. Your dog doesn't just follow your point. They understand you're trying to show them something, that your gesture has meaning and intention. They read your mind through your hand. When dogs play, they use specific signals to show this is just play, not real fighting. The play bow, front legs stretched forward, rear end up, tail wagging, is a universal invitation across all canids. Wolves do it. Foxes do it. Domestic dogs do it. It means what comes next is pretend. During playfights, dogs will periodically repeat the play bow to reassure their partner, "We're still playing. I'm not actually trying to hurt you." They'll also self-handicap, letting smaller or younger dogs win, deliberately holding back their strength. This requires understanding that the other dog has a mental state that needs reassurance. That play is a shared agreement both parties must consent to. Play isn't just fun. It's a complex social contract built on trust and communication. Dogs have a guilty look that many owners recognize. Lowered head, avoiding eye contact, ears back, tail tucked. But animal behavior research from 2023 confirmed what scientists long suspected: this isn't guilt. It's a response to your body language and tone of voice. Dogs show the guilty look even when they didn't do anything wrong. If their owner acts angry or disappointed, they're reading your emotional state and responding with appeasement behaviors. Signals that say, "Please don't be upset with me. I'm not a threat." This doesn't mean dogs lack moral understanding. It means they're extraordinarily attuned to human emotion. So much so that they respond to your feelings even before you speak. The guilty look is actually proof of how deeply dogs are wired to maintain harmony with their human pack members. Foxes cache food, burying it for later, and they remember exact locations of hundreds of buried meals using spatial memory. A red fox can dig up a mouse it buried 3 months earlier, finding it under a foot of snow in a forest that looks identical in every direction. Research published in 2024 showed foxes create mental maps of their territories, updating them seasonally as landscapes change. They also practice deceptive caching, pretending to bury food in one spot while actually burying it elsewhere. If they suspect another animal is watching, this requires understanding that others have minds that can be deceived. A theory of mind that was once thought unique to primates The fox's behavior teaches us that intelligence wears many forms, and cleverness evolved wherever survival demanded it. Domestic dogs have evolved a facial muscle that wolves lack, the levator anguli oculi medialis, which allows them to raise their inner eyebrows and make their eyes look larger and more childlike. This expression, called puppy dog eyes, triggers nurturing instincts in humans. Research comparing dog and wolf anatomy found this muscle is either absent or extremely weak in wolves, but present and well developed in nearly all domestic dogs. It evolved specifically through domestication, possibly because dogs with more expressive faces received more care and had more offspring. Your dog's pleading look isn't accidental. It's the result of 30,000 years of evolution sculpting their face to communicate with yours. When they look at you with those soft eyes, it's ancient adaptation meeting modern love. Dingoes, Australia's wild dogs, hunt cooperatively using sophisticated strategies that suggest complex communication and planning. Pack members take specific roles. Some chase prey toward ambush points where others wait. They hunt kangaroos, which are much faster than individual dingoes, by working in relay teams, with fresh dingoes taking over the chase when others tire. Studies from 2025 tracking dingo packs with GPS collars found they coordinate over distances of several miles, suggesting they plan hunts in advance rather than simply reacting to prey. Dingoes represent an intermediate stage between wolves and domestic dogs. They've been separated from wolves for 5,000 to 8,000 years, evolving unique behaviors suited to the Australian landscape. They remind us that dog is not one thing but a spectrum of adaptation. Dogs form attachment bonds with humans that activate the same brain regions as parent-child bonds. When a dog and their beloved human gaze into each other's eyes, both experience a surge of oxytocin, the love hormone released during human bonding, breastfeeding, and romantic attachment. A 2024 study using fMRI brain scans found that when dogs see their owner's face, reward centers light up more intensely than when they see another familiar human, or even when they see food. The human-dog bond is not a one-way relationship where humans love dogs and dogs simply tolerate us for food. It's a genuine attachment, neurologically real, creating a connection that transcends species. When your dog loves you, it's not metaphor. It's measurable in oxytocin and visible in brain scans. African wild dogs have one of the most democratic social structures in the animal kingdom. Before a hunt, pack members communicate through gentle sneezes, each indicating their readiness to move. If enough pack members participate, usually at least 3, the pack slowly sets out together. If not enough agree, they stay resting. Research from Botswana in 2023 found that dominant individuals' preferences carry more weight. But even lower-ranking members can influence the decision if enough of them participate together. This is rare in social carnivores, where leaders typically make all decisions. African wild dogs show us that hierarchy doesn't require force, that leadership can coexist with consensus, and that even in the wild, group agreement matters. Cooperation built their success, not domination. Dogs can detect changes in human blood sugar levels before the person feels symptoms, which is why diabetic alert dogs can warn their owners of dangerous glucose drops or spikes. They're not trained to detect specific scents we know about. Scientists still aren't certain exactly what chemical change dogs smell. Research from 2024 suggests dogs detect volatile organic compounds released through breath and skin when blood sugar becomes abnormal. Some dogs can alert up to 30 minutes before a person feels symptoms, providing time to eat, take insulin, or seek help. While training and reliability vary between individual dogs, those who have this ability create a bridge between body and awareness, between hidden danger and protective warning. The dog's nose serves as guardian. Grey wolves can travel up to 30 miles in a single day searching for food, and their territories can span 1,000 square miles. This constant movement shapes wolf behavior. They're endurance athletes, built for steady travel rather than explosive speed. Studies tracking wolves in Yellowstone National Park found that wolf packs develop preferred routes through their territories, using the same paths year after year, creating visible trails through wilderness. These paths minimize energy expenditure, connect important resources, and become shared knowledge passed from older to younger wolves. Even when prey is abundant, wolves keep moving, maintaining awareness of their entire territory. Movement is not just search behavior for wolves, it's identity, purpose, and the rhythm that structures their entire existence in the wild landscape. When dogs dream, they often twitch, paddle their legs, and sometimes bark softly. Research using EEG to measure dog brain activity during sleep found that dogs experience REM sleep, the stage associated with dreaming, and their brain patterns during REM are similar to humans. In 2025, researchers at MIT studied sleeping dogs and found brain activity consistent with replaying the day's experiences, particularly social interactions and play. Dogs with active days showed more movement during REM sleep. Puppies dream more than adult dogs, possibly because they're processing more new experiences. When your dog twitches and whimpers in sleep, they're likely reliving their day, playing in the park, greeting you at the door, chasing squirrels. Dogs don't just sleep. They remember, process, and dream. Coyotes have adapted to urban environments in ways that show notable behavioral flexibility. They've learned to use crosswalks, travel through storm drains, and time their movements to avoid rush hour traffic. Research from Chicago, where over 4,000 coyotes live within city limits, found that urban coyotes are more nocturnal than their rural counterparts. They've shifted their activity patterns to avoid humans. They've also changed their diet, eating more human food waste and fewer natural prey animals. Some coyotes have learned to hunt in pairs to take down deer in urban parks, a behavior less common in rural coyotes who hunt smaller prey alone. Urban adaptation isn't passive survival. It's active problem solving, learning, and the willingness to change ancient patterns when the world demands new strategies. Beyond communication, dogs use their tails for balance while running and turning. When a dog runs at full speed and needs to make a sharp turn, the tail acts as a counterweight and rudder, helping maintain stability. High-speed camera footage analyzed in 2024 showed that dogs adjust tail position millisecond by millisecond during complex movements, similar to how cheetahs use their tails during high-speed hunts. Breeds with longer tails generally have better agility and turning ability than breeds with docked or naturally short tails. This biomechanical function means that tail docking doesn't just remove a communication tool. It removes a physical balance aid. The tail is not decoration. It's an integral part of how dogs move through their world. Arctic foxes change the color of their fur with the seasons. White in winter for camouflage in snow. Brown or gray in summer to blend with tundra. But the color change isn't just about camouflage. The white winter coat is also thicker, providing better insulation in temperatures that drop to -70 degrees Fahrenheit. Research from 2025 studying Arctic fox behavior found that they prepare for winter by caching hundreds of prey items: lemmings, bird eggs, fish, burying them in permafrost where they'll stay frozen until needed. Some caches are used up to 9 months later. This planning behavior requires understanding future needs. That winter will come, that food will be scarce. The Arctic fox survives not through strength, but through preparation, adaptation, and the wisdom to plan for times they cannot yet see. Basenji dogs, an ancient African breed, don't bark like other dogs. They yodel, producing a sound called a baroo that's more similar to a wolf's vocalization than a typical dog bark. This is because Basenjis are among the oldest dog breeds, genetically closer to the original dogs that diverged from wolves. The evolution of barking in domestic dogs is still debated, but 2024 genetic research suggests that barking increased during domestication because humans selected for dogs that were more vocal, as barking was useful for warning of strangers or alerting to prey during hunting. Different breeds have different barking frequencies and patterns, creating breed-specific voices. The diversity of dog vocalizations shows how quickly evolution can work when humans actively select for specific traits. Wild dog packs in Africa care for injured and sick pack members, bringing them food and protecting them during recovery. Observers in Botswana documented a wild dog with a broken leg that couldn't hunt, and pack members regurgitated food for this individual for weeks until the leg healed. This behavior isn't explainable by genetic relatedness alone. Sometimes the helped individual isn't closely related to those helping. It suggests genuine empathy or at least a deep social bond that extends beyond survival instinct. The pack's survival depends on cooperation, and cooperation requires trust that others will help when you're vulnerable. Compassion in wild dogs isn't softness. It's the foundation of a social system that allows them to hunt prey much larger than themselves and thrive in harsh environments. Research spanning 2 decades has shown that dogs can learn over 165 words, with some exceptional dogs learning over 1,000 words. Early studies in the 2000s with a border collie named Rico demonstrated fast mapping, inferring that a new word refers to a new object among familiar ones, the same process human children use. More recent studies in 2024 found that dogs understand words through a combination of sound pattern and context. Much like humans do, they don't just respond to trained commands. They comprehend language elements, recognizing individual words within sentences. Your dog's understanding isn't just conditioned response. It's genuine language comprehension, incomplete but real, bridging the space between human speech and animal cognition in ways we're only beginning to fully appreciate. Ethiopian wolves are among the rarest canids in the world, with approximately 500 individuals remaining in the Ethiopian highlands as of recent surveys. They're specialized to hunt giant mole rats in high-altitude grasslands, and their behavior is uniquely adapted to this niche. Unlike pack-hunting wolves elsewhere, Ethiopian wolves usually hunt alone during the day, using their hearing to locate mole rats underground before digging them out. However, they maintain tight social bonds, sleeping together in dens and greeting each other with elaborate ceremonies of sniffing, licking, and tail wagging. Research from 2025 found that despite hunting alone, pack bonds are essential for territory defense and pup rearing. These wolves show that social complexity doesn't require cooperative hunting. Sometimes, companionship itself is the evolutionary advantage. Dogs have a sense of time and can anticipate regular events like meal times or their owner's return from work. Studies from 2024 using activity monitors showed that dogs' behavior changes in anticipation of scheduled events. They become more active and alert about 30 minutes before their owner typically arrives home, even when arrival times vary by circumstances unknown to the dog. This suggests dogs don't just respond to immediate cues, but track time internally. Some researchers believe dogs use a combination of circadian rhythms and memory to estimate time passage. When your dog greets you at the door before you've even put the key in the lock, they haven't heard your car. They knew, roughly, when you were due. Time passes for them as it does for you. Fennec foxes, the smallest canids in the world, have enormous ears that serve multiple functions. The ears dissipate heat in the Sahara Desert, where temperatures exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit, acting like radiators. But they're also precision listening devices. Fennec foxes can hear insects and small rodents moving underground, allowing them to hunt in near-total darkness. Behavioral observations in 2023 found that fennec foxes can pinpoint prey locations so accurately that they can leap into the air and land precisely on an animal hidden beneath sand. Their ears can rotate independently to track sounds from different directions simultaneously. These behaviors show that extreme environments don't limit life. They inspire it to develop extreme adaptations. The fennec fox is possibility made flesh in an impossible landscape. Dogs sleep an average of 12 to 14 hours per day, far more than humans. But their sleep is polyphasic, broken into multiple periods throughout the day and night, rather than one long stretch. This pattern is inherited from wolves, who rest between hunts and during digestion. Research published in 2024 found that dogs adjust their sleep schedules to match their owners' routines, sleeping more at night if their humans do, even though their natural inclination is to nap sporadically. This flexibility shows dogs' notable ability to adapt to human life. When your dog curls up and naps in the afternoon sun, they're following instincts millions of years old, but also choosing to share your rhythm, to sync their rest with yours, to live on your time. Maned wolves, despite their name, are not true wolves but the only species in their genus, Chrysocean. They look like foxes on stilts, incredibly long legs, adapted for moving through tall grasslands in South America. Their behavior reflects their unique ecology. They're mostly solitary, hunting small prey like rodents, birds, and surprisingly, eating large amounts of fruit, particularly a tomato-like fruit called lobeira. Research from Brazil in 2025 found that maned wolves help disperse seeds across vast distances, making them important for grassland plant diversity. They communicate with a distinctive roar bark, a sound unlike any other canid. The maned wolf teaches us that the dog family is far broader than wolves and domestic dogs. It's a spectrum of forms, each shaped by the specific demands of their world. Take a deep breath and feel this. You're an animal too, a warm-blooded creature, breathing, resting, just like the millions of dogs and wolves and foxes on this planet right now. Somewhere, a dog is settling into its bed beside a sleeping human. Somewhere, a wolf pack is curled together for warmth. Somewhere, a fox is resting in its den, safe from the world above. Feel yourself as part of this living tapestry, one creature among countless others, all seeking rest, safety, belonging. Your body knows these rhythms, the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of heartbeat, the ancient rhythm of pack and family and home. Dogs taught us that companionship crosses species, that love doesn't need words, that being together is enough. You belong to this connected world. You always have. Now we continue through the gentle facts of canine life. Research from 2013 suggested that dogs might sense Earth's magnetic field, showing preferences for certain body alignments during elimination when the magnetic field is stable. While this finding sparked interest in canine magnetoreception, the ability to detect magnetic fields, scientists are still investigating the exact mechanism and consistency of this behavior. Dogs may orient themselves using the same planetary magnetism that guides migrating birds and sea turtles navigate oceans. During magnetic field fluctuations caused by solar activity, dogs appear to lose these alignment preferences, suggesting they're actively sensing invisible forces rather than following learned patterns. When your dog circles before lying down, they might be connecting to the same subtle environmental cues that help animals navigate across continents, orienting themselves to forces we cannot perceive. Wolf packs are family units, not groups formed by dominance battles. The alpha wolf theory, that wolves fight for dominance to become pack leader, was based on observations of unrelated wolves in captivity, which is an unnatural situation. In the wild, a wolf pack is usually a breeding pair and their offspring from several years. The parents lead because they're the parents, not because they fought their way to the top. This discovery, widely accepted by 2015 and reinforced by studies through 2024, changed how we understand wolf behavior and, by extension, how we should train dogs. Force and dominance aren't necessary. Family bonds, built on trust, are the foundation of canid social life. Dogs lick human faces as a sign of affection. But this behavior originates from puppy behavior toward their mothers. Puppies lick around their mother's mouth to stimulate her to regurgitate food for them. Adult dogs retain this behavior and redirect it toward humans, especially when greeting them after absence. From the dog's perspective, licking your face is showing respect, affection, and a request for care, all bundled into one instinctive action. Research from 2024 found that dogs lick humans more when they perceive the human is stressed or sad, suggesting licking also serves a comfort function. The behavior that once meant "please feed me" has evolved into "I care about you, I want to comfort you." Function transforms into love. Doles, Asian wild dogs, communicate using a whistle-like call that gives them their nickname whistling dogs. These whistles help coordinate pack members during hunts through dense jungle vegetation where visual contact is impossible. Each toll has a unique whistle, allowing pack members to identify who's calling. Behavioral research in 2025 studying doles in India found that they combine whistles, growls, and screams in complex sequences, suggesting a communication system more sophisticated than previously thought. Dholes hunt prey as large as water buffalo by working in perfectly coordinated teams, taking turns chasing and attacking until the prey collapses from exhaustion. Their communication shows that language isn't about words. It's about conveying meaning through sound. And meaning is what brings the pack together. Dogs sneeze when they're playing to signal I'm playing, not fighting. Play sneezes are especially common when play gets intense, or when one dog is significantly larger or stronger than the other. It's a reassurance signal, like the play bow, helping maintain the playful atmosphere. Research observing hundreds of play sessions found that when play sneezing increased, play fighting was less likely to escalate into real aggression. Dogs read these sneezes from each other and adjust their behavior accordingly. The play sneeze is conscious communication disguised as a physical reflex, a deliberate signal wrapped in an involuntary action. Even in play, dogs are constantly negotiating, communicating, making sure everyone's still having fun. In Moscow, some street dogs have adapted to urban life in notable ways, reportedly using public transportation to travel between different areas of the city. While the extent of this behavior is debated, some stories are likely exaggerated. Researchers have documented that urban dogs do learn to navigate complex human environments, timing movements with traffic patterns and human schedules. Studies through 2024 found these dogs recognize landmarks, understand pedestrian signals, and adjust their behavior based on time of day. They navigate a world built for humans, following rules they weren't taught, solving problems unique to urban life. Moscow's adapted dogs are not lost strays. They're urban dwellers, learning to use human infrastructure with an intelligence that reflects their extraordinary behavioral flexibility. Dogs have a third eyelid called the nictitating membrane that moves across the eye to distribute tears and remove debris. You usually only see it when a dog is sleeping or just waking up. This adaptation, common in many animals but absent in humans, provides extra protection for the eye without requiring blinking that would interrupt visual focus. Wolves and wild canids use this membrane constantly during hunts through brush and grass. Studies in 2024 found that the nictitating membrane moves independently of regular blinking, allowing dogs to clean their eyes while maintaining visual contact with prey or threats. It's a small detail, easy to miss, but it represents millions of years of fine-tuning, evolution's endless refinement of survival tools. Coyotes sometimes form temporary hunting partnerships with badgers. The two species hunt ground squirrels together. The coyote chases squirrels across open ground, while the badger digs them out of burrows. Each catches prey the other flushes out, making both hunters more successful than either alone. Cameras in the American West have captured coyotes and badgers traveling together, playing, and apparently waiting for each other. Research from 2025 confirmed this is genuine cooperation, not accidental association. The animals actively seek each other out and coordinate their hunting. This cross-species teamwork shows that cooperation isn't limited to family or pack members. When survival is easier together, even natural competitors can become partners. Collaboration crosses boundaries we imagine are fixed. When dogs are separated from their owners, their stress hormones increase, and they show behavioral signs of distress: pacing, whining, loss of appetite. Studies monitoring cortisol levels in dogs found that separation produces genuine stress responses, not just learned protests for attention. The longer the separation, the more intense the greeting upon reunion, with dogs showing extreme excitement that mirrors human reunion behaviors after long absences. Research from 2024 using heart rate monitors showed that a dog's heart rate calms when their owner returns, even before physical contact. Your dog doesn't just want you around, they need you. Emotionally and physiologically, your presence regulates their nervous system as their presence regulates yours. You are each other's calm. Bush dogs, small South American canids, are specialized for hunting in water. Their partially webbed feet and dense coat make them strong swimmers, and they hunt large rodents like capybaras by chasing them into water and attacking as a pack. Bush dogs are rarely seen and poorly understood. Much of what we know comes from camera traps and brief observations. Studies from 2023 found they live in packs of up to 12 individuals and use water as both highway and hunting ground. Behaviors unusual among canids. They show that even within the dog family, specialization continues. Species evolving unique solutions to unique challenges. The world contains dogs we've barely met, living lives we're only beginning to understand. Dogs mirror their owners' emotional patterns throughout the day. Research tracking both dogs and their owners found that when people experience chronic stress, their dogs show similar behavioral changes. Increased alertness, disrupted sleep, changes in appetite. This emotional synchronization is stronger in dogs with close attachments to their owners. The relationship is bidirectional. Dogs can help calm anxious owners through companionship, while owner stress can increase dog anxiety, creating feedback loops of emotion. Your emotional state shapes your dog's experience of the world, and their presence shapes yours. You don't just live together, you feel together. Your inner states influencing each other like tuning forks vibrating in harmony. Your calm becomes their calm. Your tension becomes their tension. Red wolves, critically endangered, with fewer than 300 individuals remaining, are the result of hybridization between gray wolves and coyotes thousands of years ago. Genetic research published in 2024 confirmed that red wolves are a distinct species despite their hybrid origin, representing a stable evolutionary lineage. Their behavior blends wolf and coyote traits. They hunt in smaller packs than gray wolves, but maintain stronger social bonds than coyotes. Red wolves almost went extinct in the wild by 1980, but captive breeding programs have reintroduced them to North Carolina. Their precarious existence reminds us that species aren't permanent, that what we love can disappear if we don't protect it. Red wolves survive now only because humans chose to save them. Dogs sneeze to clear their nasal passages, but they also sneeze when excited or during play. The excitement sneeze is thought to be an involuntary response to rapid breathing and increased activity. However, some behaviorists suggest it may also serve as a calming signal, a way to self-regulate during intense emotional states. Observations of wild canids show similar sneezing during social interactions, particularly greetings. The sneeze might be a physiological response that evolved a social function, or vice versa. Either way, when your dog sneezes repeatedly while playing or greeting you, it's a sign of high emotional arousal mixed with positive feelings. Excitement so strong, it spills over into physical reflexes. Joy that can't be contained. Service dogs trained to help people with PTSD can detect when their handler is about to have a panic attack or nightmare. Sometimes before the person is consciously aware, the dogs detect subtle changes in body language, breathing patterns, or possibly chemical signals in sweat and breath. Studies from 2025 found that PTSD service dogs alert their handlers an average of 3 to 5 minutes before panic symptoms become severe, allowing the person to use coping strategies or leave stressful situations. The dogs provide grounding through physical contact and trained responses that interrupt panic spirals. This isn't magic or mysticism. It's a dog's ancient sensitivity to their pack members' state, now harnessed to help humans heal invisible wounds. Bat-eared foxes have enormous ears, not just large proportionally, but genuinely huge, that allow them to hear termites and beetle larvae moving underground. 80% of their diet is insects, particularly harvester termites, which they locate by sound and then dig up. Research tracking bat-eared fox behavior found they can adjust their foraging based on insect activity patterns, feeding more during times when termites are most active. Their teeth are smaller and more numerous than other canids, adapted for crushing insects rather than tearing meat. These foxes are so specialized that they represent a completely different ecological niche within the canid family. Not hunters of mammals or birds, but predators of the invisible multitudes that crawl beneath the sand. If you're still awake, still wandering through the world of dogs with us, that means your curiosity hasn't rested yet, and that's perfectly okay. Take a gentle breath. Feel yourself held by the earth, just like dogs sleeping in dens, curled beside humans, resting in their ancient places. We're exploring canine companionship together. Every fact is another step deeper into peaceful territory, and we'll keep going, slowly, until sleep catches up to you. Let's drift onward. Dogs can count to 5 and understand basic arithmetic. Experiments where dogs watched treats being placed behind a screen, then watched as treats were secretly added or removed, showed that dogs react with surprise when the screen is lifted and the number of treats doesn't match what they expected. They can't do algebra, but they grasp quantity concepts: more versus less, one versus many. This mathematical sense helps them assess social situations. How many pack members are nearby? Whether their group outnumbers rivals? How much food is available? Numbers matter in survival. So evolution built basic numerical awareness into dog cognition. Your dog counts, estimates, compares, thinking in quantities without needing words. Gray foxes are the only canids in North America that can climb trees. They have semi-retractable claws, similar to cats, that give them grip on bark. They'll climb to escape predators, to rest on branch, and to raid bird nests. Camera traps in 2024 captured gray foxes climbing 30 feet up oak trees and napping in the crooks of branches. This behavior sets them apart from all other foxes and dogs, showing that even within closely related species, evolution experiments with different solutions. The gray fox didn't need to run faster or fight harder. It went vertical, finding safety in a dimension most canids never access. Sometimes survival means doing what no one expects. Dogs show fairness and inequity aversion. They react when they see another dog receiving better rewards for the same task. In experiments where 2 dogs performed a trick, but only one received a treat, the unrewarded dog would eventually refuse to continue, showing signs they noticed the difference in treatment. They don't just want rewards, they want fair treatment relative to others. This sense of fairness is considered cognitively complex because it requires social comparison and an understanding of equity. Studies from 2025 found that dogs who are close companions show stronger responses. They care more about fairness with friends than with strangers. Fairness isn't a human invention. It's a social tool, evolved wherever cooperation requires trust, that effort will be rewarded equally. Swift foxes, one of North America's smallest canids, were nearly extinct by the 1960s due to habitat loss and poisoning campaigns targeting wolves and coyotes. Conservation efforts involving captive breeding and reintroduction programs have brought them back to parts of their historical range. Behavioral studies during reintroductions found that captive-bred swift foxes had to relearn wild behaviors, hunting techniques, predator avoidance, den selection, often by observing surviving wild foxes. This shows that behavior isn't entirely genetic. Much is learned. Cultural, passed between individuals. The swift fox's recovery is a small victory in a landscape of losses. Proof that what we nearly destroyed, we can sometimes help restore. If we choose action over regret, dogs can differentiate between intentional and accidental human actions. When researchers accidentally dropped treats beyond a dog's reach versus intentionally withholding them, dogs reacted differently, showing patience when actions seemed accidental, but showing awareness when actions seemed deliberately withheld. This requires understanding human intentions, that someone can want to give you something but fail versus choosing to withhold it. Research from 2024 showed dogs assess human intentions by reading body language and context. Sophisticated social cognition. Your dog knows the difference between you stepping on their paw by accident versus pushing them aside deliberately. They understand you can mean well and still make mistakes. They forgive accidents because they understand intention, a capacity that makes forgiveness possible. Raccoon dogs, despite their name, are true canids native to East Asia. They're omnivorous and will eat almost anything. Insects, rodents, fruits, fish, human garbage. In winter, they're one of the only canids that hibernate. Though not deeply, they enter torpor, a lighter state where body temperature drops and metabolism slows. But they can wake if disturbed. This adaptation allows them to survive harsh winters without needing to hunt constantly. Introduced to Europe for fur farming, escaped raccoon dogs spread across the continent, showing notable adaptability to new environments. Their success lies in flexibility, eating anything, living anywhere, sleeping through hardship, waking when conditions improve. Adaptability is survival's most reliable strategy. Dogs mirror human yawning when watching their owners, a behavior linked to empathy and emotional connection. Studies found that dogs yawn more when watching their owner yawn compared to a stranger yawning, suggesting the response is tied to the strength of the bond. Mirrored yawning is rare in the animal kingdom. Humans, chimpanzees, and dogs are among the few species that show it consistently. It's thought to reflect empathy or emotional synchrony, an automatic mirroring of another's state. When your dog yawns after you do, they're not just tired, they're resonating with your state. Their nervous system responding to yours. It's connection without thought. empathy without words. Two bodies unconsciously synchronizing in the space you share. Corsac foxes. Small foxes from Central Asian steppes survive in one of Earth's harshest climates, where temperatures swing from 100 degrees in summer to -40 in winter. They've adapted by becoming highly social, unusual for most fox species. Corsac foxes share dens, hunt cooperatively sometimes, and even nurse each other's pups. Social living helps them survive temperature extremes. Shared body warmth in winter. Communal pup care, allowing more efficient hunting. Research in 2025, studying Corsac fox groups, found complex social bonds rivaling those of wolves. They show that sociality isn't about intelligence or complexity. It's a practical adaptation that emerges whenever life is easier together than alone. Companionship is survival strategy. Dogs experience jealousy. When owners showed affection to a realistic stuffed dog, real dogs pushed between the owner and the stuffed animal, tried to get the owner's attention, and sometimes snapped at the fake dog. They rarely showed these behaviors when the owner directed attention to neutral objects like books. Brain imaging studies from 2024 found that watching their owner interact with another dog activates emotion centers associated with social bonding and threat in dog brains. Jealousy requires understanding relationships, that someone you're bonded to can direct attention and affection elsewhere. It's complex social cognition born from attachment. Your dog doesn't just love you, they want to keep you, to maintain the bond that defines their world. Side-striped jackals in Africa are more omnivorous than most canids, eating fruits, insects, small animals, and carrion. Their adaptable diet allows them to survive in diverse habitats across sub-Saharan Africa. Behavioral observations found that side-striped jackal pairs stay together for life, with both parents caring for pups. They're less territorial than other jackal species, with neighboring pairs tolerating overlap in hunting areas. This flexibility in diet, in territory, in social tolerance makes them successful generalists in a landscape of specialists. They teach a lesson applicable beyond jackal's survival. Doesn't always require perfect adaptation to one niche. Sometimes thriving means accepting variation, eating what's available, sharing space, remaining open to change. Halfway through our journey, breathe slowly and imagine this: you're resting beside a dog who loves you. Feel the warmth of their body close to yours, the rise and fall of their breathing, the weight of their head resting in complete trust. This moment has existed for 30,000 years. Humans and dogs sitting together in the quiet dark, keeping each other company, keeping each other warm. You don't need to speak, neither does the dog. The bond exists in the space between you, in shared breath, in the simple choice to be near each other. This is what domestication truly means. Not dominance or control, but partnership, companionship. Two species choosing each other across the vast evolutionary distance. Feel yourself held in this ancient relationship, this bridge between human and animal that transformed both species forever. Everything is exactly as it should be. Now we continue, together, through the story of this bond. Dogs seek physical contact with their owners more when the owner is upset or stressed. They lean against legs, rest their head on laps, or simply move closer. Studies monitoring owner emotions and dog proximity found that dogs respond to human emotional states even when the person tries to hide them. This isn't trained behavior. It's spontaneous comfort-giving that suggests emotional attunement. Some researchers propose dogs are sensitive to pheromones and other chemical signals humans release during stress. Others point to behavioral cues too subtle for humans to notice but obvious to dogs. Either way, dogs sense your distress and respond with their presence. They offer what they have themselves. Hunting with dogs shaped human evolution. Archaeological evidence from 2024 suggests that human-dog partnerships for hunting allowed humans to access prey they couldn't catch alone. Faster animals, dangerous animals, animals in harsh climates. This partnership may have given humans advantages over Neanderthals, who didn't domesticate dogs. Dogs didn't just adapt to humans. We co-evolved, each species shaping the other. Humans became less threatening to dogs, selecting for tameness. Dogs became more communicative with humans, evolving new facial expressions. The relationship is written in both species' genes, behavior, and brain structure. Dogs didn't just join human society. They changed what it means to be human. Dogs demonstrate helping behavior toward humans without expectation of reward. In experiments where a person struggles to reach an object, dogs will fetch and deliver the object even without prompting or treats. They help more when the human's need is clear, showing they're responding to the person's goal, not just mimicking trained behaviors. Studies from 2025 found that dogs help their owners more than strangers. But they'll help strangers too if the need is obvious. This prosocial behavior, helping others, was once thought unique to humans and primates. Dogs may have evolved helping tendencies through domestication. As helpful dogs formed stronger bonds with humans and thus had better survival, helpfulness became instinct. When dogs play with humans, they adjust their play style to match the human's ability. Dogs play more gently with children than adults, with elderly people than young adults. They modify bite force, jumping intensity, and rough play based on their partner's fragility. This behavioral flexibility requires assessing another's capabilities and adjusting your own actions accordingly. Sophisticated social cognition. Research observing hundreds of dog-human play sessions confirmed dogs make these adjustments automatically. Without training, they read their playmate and adapt, choosing connection over their full strength. Play is communication, and communication requires meeting the other where they are, speaking at a volume and intensity they can handle. Dogs adopted from shelters often bond deeply with their new owners, showing no preference for their previous owners when reunited in studies. This suggests dogs form primary attachments to whoever cares for them currently, rather than maintaining unbreakable bonds to their first owner. It's adaptation shaped by domestication. Dogs who could transfer attachment survived better in human societies where ownership might change due to death, distance, or circumstances. From a dog's perspective, home is wherever love is offered. This capacity for new attachments is both heartbreaking and hopeful. Dogs lose and grieve, but they can love again, fully, without reservation. They teach us that healing doesn't require forgetting, and new love doesn't diminish old love. Dogs have been bred into over 400 distinct breeds, each with behaviors shaped by hundreds of generations of selection. Herding dogs instinctively circle and control movement. Retrievers naturally bring objects back. Pointers freeze and indicate prey location. Guard dogs bark at strangers. These aren't tricks taught individually. They're genetic predispositions. Instincts bred so deep that puppies with no training show breed-typical behaviors. Yet every dog also has individual personality that transcends breed. A herding dog might hate herding. A retriever might refuse to fetch. Genes provide a starting point, but experience, learning, and individual variation create the complete animal. Biology is not destiny. It's a canvas. When dogs age, their cognitive abilities can decline, similar to human dementia. Older dogs may forget familiar routes, not recognize family members, or seem confused in familiar environments. This condition, called canine cognitive dysfunction, affects up to 60% of dogs over age 11. Research from 2024 found that mental stimulation, physical exercise, and social interaction can slow cognitive decline in dogs, just as they do in humans. The treatments that help aging humans, engagement, novelty, love, help aging dogs too. As your dog grows old, they still need your companionship, perhaps more than ever. The bond doesn't end when memory fades. Sometimes it deepens. Dogs grieve the loss of companion animals and humans. Behavioral studies documented dogs showing signs of grief, loss of appetite, decreased activity, increased vocalization, searching behaviors. After the death of a bonded companion, some dogs grieve for weeks or months. Brain imaging shows that dogs have neural structures for attachment that mirror humans, suggesting their grief is neurologically similar to ours. We can't know if dogs conceptually understand death, but they clearly respond to absence and loss. They notice when someone is gone and doesn't return. They feel the hole left behind. Grief is not uniquely human. It's the price paid by any creature capable of love, the shadow cast by every meaningful bond. Dogs bred for different purposes show different personality traits, even as puppies. Herding breed puppies are more reactive and alert. Retriever puppies are more eager to please and less independent. Livestock guardian breed puppies are calmer and more protective. These personality differences are genetic, appearing before training or significant life experience. Studies comparing puppies raised identically found that breed predicts temperament more than environment, at least early in life. But this isn't determinism. Individual variation within breeds is enormous, and environment shapes how genetic predispositions develop. Your dog's breed influences their personality, but it doesn't define them completely. They are both their ancestry and themselves, both inheritance and individual, both nature and the specific life they've lived. Therapy dogs visiting hospitals and nursing homes seem to understand their job involves being calm and gentle. Handlers report that dogs behave differently during therapy visits than at home. More patient, more tolerant of handling, more subdued. Research from 2025 found that therapy dogs' cortisol levels don't spike during visits, despite constant interaction with strangers, suggesting they're not stressed, but engaged in their work. Some dogs are naturally suited to therapy work. Others never adapt to it despite training. Those who succeed seem to understand that these situations require different behavior. They read context and adjust their response. The dog serving others isn't pretending. They're choosing a role. Dogs dream about their daily experiences, likely replaying walks, play sessions, and interactions with their owners. Research monitoring dogs during sleep found that when specific memories were triggered by sounds associated with positive experiences, sleeping dogs showed tail wagging and leg movements suggesting they were re-experiencing those moments. The sleeping brain consolidates memories, and dogs' memories center on their social experiences. You, your family, the other animals they know. When your dog whimpers happily in sleep, they might be dreaming of running in the park with you, of playing fetch, of the moment you came home. In dreams, they relive the best parts of their day. And usually, those parts involve you. Dogs can learn by observation, watching other dogs or humans solve problems and then imitating the solution. Studies showed that dogs who watched another dog open a puzzle box learned to open it faster than dogs without observation, demonstrating social learning. They learn from their mothers, from other dogs in the household, and from humans. This capacity for observational learning is part of why dogs adapted so well to human society. They learn our patterns, our routines, our ways of doing things, not through trial and error, but through watching and imitating. Your dog studies you constantly, learning how your world works, trying to fit themselves into it. Street dogs in India and other countries often form complex social groups with hierarchies, territories, and cooperative behaviors. Unlike pet dogs whose social structure is human-centered, street dogs create their own societies. Research from 2024 observing Indian street dogs found stable packs with clear social roles. Some individuals are more affiliative, others more assertive. Some act as mediators in conflicts. These groups are dynamic, with individuals joining and leaving, alliances forming and breaking. Street dog societies show what dog behavior looks like without humans as the primary social anchor. They're still domestic dogs, but they've rebuilt something resembling wild canid social structure within human environments. A synthesis of wild heritage and domestic adaptability. Dogs show preference for people who are kind to their owners. When dogs watched their owner interact with two strangers, one helpful, one neutral or unhelpful, dogs subsequently approached and accepted treats more readily from the helpful person. They remember who treated their owner well and respond accordingly. This requires understanding social relationships and holding preferences based on third-party interactions that don't directly involve them. It's sophisticated social reasoning. Your dog doesn't just care about how people treat them. They care how people treat you. They take your side, form judgments based on your experiences. In their eyes, your enemies are their enemies. Your friends are their friends. Loyalty is tangible. Guide dogs for the blind must make independent decisions that override their training if following a command would endanger their handler. This is called intelligent disobedience. If commanded to move forward into traffic, the guide dog refuses. Training intelligent disobedience is challenging because it requires teaching the dog to think critically, to assess situations independently, and to overrule their deep instinct to obey. Studies from 2025 analyzing guide dog behavior found that successful guide dogs show higher baseline independence and confidence compared to dogs that don't complete training. The dog isn't just following orders. They're thinking, evaluating, protecting. They bear responsibility for another life, and they understand that responsibility deeply. Dogs show empathy-like responses to human crying. When their owner or even a stranger cries, dogs approach, nuzzle, lick, and try to make physical contact. Studies ruled out simple curiosity by showing that dogs respond differently to crying than to humming or talking. The crying specifically triggers comforting behaviors. Brain scans from 2024 found that hearing human distress activates emotion and social cognition regions in dog brains. We can debate whether dogs feel empathy exactly as humans do, but functionally, the result is the same when you cry. Your dog responds as if your pain is their pain, offering the comfort they can provide. They may not understand your tears, but they understand you need them. Dogs adjust their behavior based on human attention. They're more likely to steal food when a person isn't watching or has their back turned compared to when the person is facing them. This shows dogs understand where human attention is directed, and that humans can see some things but not others. A concept called perspective taking. Research from 2024 found that dogs distinguish between different types of human inattention. A person with their eyes closed versus eyes covered versus facing away. Each receives different responses from the dog. Your dog knows when you're watching and when you're not, and they adjust their mischief accordingly. They understand observation and use that understanding strategically. Puppy dog eyes work because they trigger human nurturing instincts. The specific expression, raised inner eyebrows, large eyes, slightly tilted head, mimics infant facial proportions that humans are hardwired to respond to with care and affection. This isn't manipulation, it's coevolution. Dogs evolved faces that communicate with humans, and humans evolved to respond to those faces. The relationship shaped both species. Studies showed that people are more likely to adopt shelter dogs who make frequent eye contact and show facial expressions, meaning these behaviors increase dog survival even today. The look your dog gives you when begging isn't fake. It's communication refined across thousands of generations into perfect emotional signal. Dogs appear to remember specific events from their past, showing what researchers call episodic-like memory. In studies, dogs could recall which person hid a treat in which location, even after delays and distraction. While we can't know if dogs experience memories the same way humans do, with the sense of mentally traveling back in time, they clearly retain information about specific past experiences, not just learned habits. Your dog doesn't just know routines. They remember particular days, individual events that stood out. The day you brought them home, the time they got hurt and you comforted them. Every moment you shared that mattered. They carry your history together, just as you do. Dogs form stronger attachments to owners who are responsive to their needs and emotions. Studies measuring dog attachment styles found that dogs with responsive owners, those who notice and respond to the dog's signals, showed secure attachment, exploring confidently when the owner was present and seeking comfort from the owner when stressed. Dogs with less responsive owners showed anxious or avoidant attachment patterns. The quality of care shapes the quality of the bond. Your dog's trust isn't automatic. It's built through thousands of small interactions where you proved you notice them, understand them, and respond to their needs. Attachment is earned through attentiveness, through showing up, again and again. When dogs are trained using positive reinforcement, rewards for desired behaviors. They learn faster and show fewer anxiety behaviors than dogs trained with punishment or dominance methods. Research comparing training methods found that positive reinforcement produces dogs who are more confident, more willing to try new behaviors, and more bonded to their trainers. Punishment-based training can work, but often creates fearful, anxious dogs who obey out of fear rather than cooperation. The method you use to teach your dog shapes not just what they learn, but who they become. Confident partner or fearful subordinate. Training is relationship building. How you teach matters as much as what you teach. Dogs have preferences for certain people based on factors we don't fully understand. Some dogs immediately bond with specific individuals while remaining neutral toward others. Part of this is socialization history. Dogs often prefer people similar to their early caregivers. But individual personality matters too. Some dogs prefer calm people. Others, energetic people. Some like children. Others prefer adults. Research from 2025 studying dog preferences found no universal pattern. Each dog's preferences are individual. Your dog's love for you isn't because you're objectively the best person, but because something about you matches something in them. The bond is specific, particular, a unique connection between this dog and this human, unrepeatable with anyone else. Dogs show pride-like emotions after accomplishing tasks, especially difficult ones. They hold their heads high, tails up, walk with more confidence, and seek eye contact with their owner, as if to say, "Did you see that brain imaging studies suggest that completing tasks and receiving praise activates reward centers in dog brains, similar to humans experiencing pride?" This emotional response likely evolved because dogs who sought human approval and felt rewarded by accomplishment formed stronger bonds and received better care. When your dog prances after catching a ball or successfully learning a trick, that's not anthropomorphism. It's genuine emotional response. Pride's canine equivalent. The good feeling of success shared. Old dogs can learn new tricks. Cognitive flexibility continues throughout a dog's life, though learning may slow with age. Research from 2024 found that senior dogs benefit from continued training and mental stimulation, which can slow cognitive decline and maintain quality of life. Older dogs learn differently than puppies. They have more experience to draw on, but may need more repetitions to form new associations. The saying, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks," is false and harmful. It discourages continued engagement with aging dogs who still need mental stimulation. Your old dog can still learn, still engage, still grow. Age changes learning, but it doesn't end it. Every stage of life offers possibilities. Dogs form lasting memories of significant people that persist across years of separation. Video evidence and behavioral studies show dogs recognizing previous owners or family members after separations of multiple years, responding with immediate recognition and intense joy. Unlike short-term memory, which fades quickly, memory for important social bonds appears permanent. The neural pathways built through repeated positive interactions remain intact, dormant but retrievable. Your dog doesn't forget the people who mattered to them. Time and distance don't erase love. They suspend it, waiting for reunion. This is both comforting and heartbreaking. Separation doesn't erase the bond, but the dog remembers, carries the absence, perhaps waits. You might be feeling tired now. That's exactly right. Breathe slowly and think about cycles. Dogs live in cycles, waking and sleeping, energy and rest, excitement and calm. They don't fight these rhythms. They surrender to them naturally. Watch a dog, any dog. When they're tired, they sleep. When they're energetic, they play. They don't resist their body's needs. They trust the rhythm. Dogs taught humans this rhythm. For 30,000 years, they've been modeling rest, showing us how to be present, how to simply exist without purpose or productivity. You are also part of these natural rhythms. Your body knows when to rest, when to let go, when to stop trying. Like a dog settling into sleep, you can release the day, release the effort, release the need to do anything but breathe. We're almost there now, almost home. The dog resting beside you, real or remembered, knows the way to peace. Follow them. Dogs wag their tails in sleep during pleasant dreams, showing that even unconscious, they experience emotion. The sleeping dog twitching and wagging might be dreaming of you, of running together, of moments that brought joy. Their dream life mirrors their waking life, full of the relationships and experiences that matter to them. When your dog dreams, they don't dream of wild hunts or ancestral landscapes. They dream of you, of home, of the life you've built together. Their inner world reflects their outer world. You are the center of both. In sleep and waking, they carry you with them. Some dogs seem to sense when their owner is coming home, becoming alert and waiting by the door minutes before arrival. Even when arrival times vary unpredictably, researchers have struggled to explain this. Dogs might hear familiar cars from far away, detect routine patterns humans don't notice, or possibly sense something science hasn't identified. Whether explainable or mysterious, the behavior is real and widely reported. Your dog knows when you're coming home. They wait for you, anticipating your return, holding the space you'll soon fill. The connection between you exists even when you're apart. Dogs choose to sleep near their owners even when more comfortable spots are available. Studies tracking where dogs sleep found they consistently prefer locations near their human, sacrificing comfort for proximity. This reflects the dog's nature as a social animal who finds security in pack closeness. Your presence is more valuable to your dog than the softest bed. They sleep near you because being close matters more than being comfortable. To a dog, the best spot to sleep isn't the warmest or softest. It's wherever you are. Every dog is an individual with unique personality, fears, loves, and quirks. Two dogs from the same litter, raised in the same home, will develop differently. One becomes bold, another timid. One loves water, another fears it. Genetics and environment interact with something harder to define: individual essence, the particular consciousness inhabiting that particular body. Your dog is not replaceable, not interchangeable with other dogs. They are themselves, singular and irreplaceable, as unique as any human. The bond you share exists only with this dog, this specific being who chose to love you. Dogs often perform pre-sleep rituals, circling, scratching, arranging blankets. These behaviors descend from wild ancestors who circled to flatten grass and scare away insects before lying down. The scratching created a comfortable depression. Domestic dogs retain these behaviors even on beds where circling serves no function. They're acting out ancient patterns, following instincts older than their relationship with humans. When your dog circles before settling, they're briefly a wolf, a fox, a wild canid preparing a den. Domestication changed them, but didn't erase the wild entirely. It sleeps within them, still. Dogs greet their owners with enthusiasm every single time. Even after brief separations, the greeting never gets old to them. You're always exciting, always worth celebrating, always a source of joy. Research found that dogs' positive response to their owner's return doesn't diminish over time. The 100th reunion prompts as much excitement as the first. To your dog, you are endlessly interesting, endlessly beloved, endlessly worth greeting. They don't take you for granted. Every return is an event. Every reunion a celebration. You matter. Every single time. Some dogs seem to understand when their owner is ill or injured, becoming more gentle and protective. They lie close. Watch carefully. Refuse to leave your side. Whether they smell chemical changes, observe behavioral differences, or sense something else. Dogs respond to your vulnerability with care. They may not understand illness conceptually, but they understand you need them. The wild instinct to care for pack members merges with the domestic bond to you. When you're hurting, your dog stays close, offering their presence. They cannot heal you, but they can witness, accompany, remain. Dogs age faster than humans, living compressed lives where 7 years passes like one of ours. A decade-old dog is elderly. 15 is ancient. They give us their entire lives. Puppyhood, adulthood, senior years. In a span we might spend in a single career. The brevity is painful, but it also means that dogs live fully, intensely, not postponing joy or holding back love. They teach us to be present, to love without reservation, to not waste the time we have. Dogs live as if they know time is precious, and they're right. When you talk to your dog, they listen not just to words, but to tone, cadence, emotion. Studies using brain imaging found that dogs process language in specialized brain regions. Words in the left hemisphere, tone in the right. Similar to humans, they understand some words, but they always understand feeling. When you speak softly, they calm. When you speak with excitement, they energize. Your dog may not comprehend every word, but they comprehend you, your mood, your intention, your emotional state. Language transcends words. Communication happens in tone, in presence, in the attention you give them. Dogs seem to have a sense of right and wrong, or at least appropriate and inappropriate behavior. They show awareness when they break known rules, suggesting understanding that certain actions violate social norms. While we debate whether this is true moral understanding or learned response to consequences, the functional result is that dogs modify their behavior based on social rules. They want to be good, to fit into the pack, to maintain harmony. Goodness, for dogs, means belonging. Behavior is not just instinct. It's also choice shaped by desire for acceptance. Dogs often smile, pulling back lips to show teeth in a non-aggressive expression, usually when greeting beloved humans or during play. This is learned behavior, not instinctive. possibly mimicked from watching humans smile. Some dogs learn that this expression prompts positive responses from humans and thus perform it deliberately. Whether instinct or learned behavior, the dog's smile represents communication across species. The dog adopting human-like expressions to bridge the gap between canine and human language. They learn our signals and use them back to us. Communication is a two-way adaptation, each species reaching toward the other. The loyalty of dogs is legendary. Stories of dogs waiting for deceased owners, refusing to leave grave sites, traveling hundreds of miles to find their family. These aren't myths. They're documented behaviors that speak to the depth of dog-human attachment. The dog doesn't understand death abstractly, but they understand absence, and they respond with fidelity. Loyalty is not obedience. Loyalty is choice, sustained over time, even when the reason for loyalty has vanished. A dog's loyalty outlasts logic, outlasts life itself sometimes. It's love in its purest form, enduring, unreasoning, absolute. Dogs live in the present moment in ways humans struggle to achieve. They don't ruminate on past mistakes or worry about future problems. When they're playing, they're fully playing. When they're resting, they're fully resting. This presence is not ignorance. It's a different relationship with time, a different way of being. They experience grief and anticipation, so they're not entirely present, but they're closer than most humans get. Dogs teach presence by example. They show us what it looks like to be here, now, fully inhabiting the moment we're actually in, rather than the ones we've left or haven't reached. Dogs offer non-judgmental companionship. They don't care about your job, appearance, success, or failures. They care whether you're kind, whether you spend time with them, whether you love them back. This unconditional regard is rare in human life, where relationships often carry expectations, conditions, unspoken contracts. Your dog's love is simpler, less complicated, more direct. They see you without the layers of social performance that humans see. To your dog, you are enough, exactly as you are. This acceptance is a gift, reminding you that worth isn't earned. It simply is. When dogs rest their head on your lap or lean against you, they're seeking contact, connection, reassurance. Physical touch strengthens bonds, releases oxytocin in both human and dog, creates a feedback loop of comfort. Your dog doesn't just enjoy being petted. They need physical connection to feel secure. Touch communicates what words cannot. I'm here. You're safe. We're together. The weight of your dog pressed against you is trust made tangible. Love expressed through proximity. Closeness is its own language. One dogs speak fluently, and humans understand instinctively. Dogs are pack animals, but for domestic dogs, you are the pack. Their social structure isn't about dominance hierarchies. It's about family, about belonging to a group that cares for each other. Your dog doesn't see you as an alpha to fear. They see you as family to love. The pack concept means mutual responsibility. You care for them. They care for you, each providing what the other needs. Pack is not hierarchy. Pack is interdependence, is mutual support, is choosing to face the world together rather than alone. Dogs experience joy, not as metaphor but as measurable neurological state. Brain scans show that activities dogs enjoy trigger dopamine releases similar to human pleasure responses. They don't just act happy, they are happy, experiencing positive emotion that parallels human joy. When your dog bounds toward you or spins in circles when you grab the leash, that's not performance. It's genuine emotional response. Joy is not uniquely human. It exists wherever nervous systems are complex enough to feel pleasure, wherever life has learned to celebrate itself. Your dog knows joy because you give them reasons. The dog who lives with you changes you, often without your noticing. Studies found that dog owners have lower blood pressure, reduced stress hormones, increased physical activity, and more social connections than non-owners. Dogs structure your day, give you purpose, force you outside, bring you into contact with other dog owners. But beyond measurable health benefits, they change how you relate to the world, teaching patience, responsibility, unconditional care for another being. Your dog doesn't just share your life, they shape it, make you different, hopefully better. The change is mutual. You domesticated them. They civilize you. Some dogs become therapy animals, comfort animals, emotional support animals, roles requiring temperament, training, and genuine affinity for helping humans. Not every dog can do this work, but those who can seem to understand their purpose extends beyond their own needs. They sense distress and respond with calm. They tolerate handling from strangers because they understand it serves a purpose. Therapy dogs aren't saints. They're dogs with specific personalities and training, but they represent possibility that animals can help heal humans, that cross-species care flows both directions, that helping is instinct, available to any creature who recognizes another's need. Dogs ask very little: food, water, shelter, and your presence. They don't need expensive things or grand gestures. What they want is time, attention, inclusion in your life. A walk together is better than the finest bed. Playing fetch is better than the most expensive toy. Your attention is the resource they value most. This simplicity of need is both humbling and instructive. Dogs know what matters: connection, not possessions; presence, not performance; love, not luxury. They ask for what's actually important and ignore the rest. They understand value better than most humans. When you adopt a dog, you're not rescuing them so much as entering into mutual rescue. They give you as much as you give them: purpose, routine, unconditional love, companionship, reasons to wake up, reasons to come home. The relationship isn't charity, it's exchange, partnership, mutual benefit. Your dog needs you for survival, but you might need your dog for something harder to name. Something about meaning, about being needed, about loving something outside yourself. The rescued becomes rescuer. The cared for becomes caregiver. The bond transcends who helped whom. You help each other. That's what love means. Every moment with your dog is part of their entire life. When you're at work or busy, your dog is waiting, experiencing time differently, but still waiting. Most of their life is you, waiting for you, being with you, thinking about you. You are their whole world in a way they cannot be yours because you have other priorities, other relationships, other purposes. Understanding this asymmetry is both responsibility and privilege. Your dog has given you their life. The least you can do is be present for it, to honor what they've given by giving attention back. Dogs forgive quickly. Don't hold grudges. Don't punish you for past mistakes. If you're impatient one day, they've forgotten by the next. If you're gone too long, they're overjoyed at your return rather than resentful of your absence. This capacity for forgiveness isn't naivete. It's emotional resilience, a focus on present relationship rather than past grievances. Dogs teach that holding on to hurt damages you more than the one who hurt you. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is choosing connection over correctness, relationship over being right. Dogs forgive because love matters more than pride. At the end, when age or illness makes life more pain than joy, your dog depends on you for one final act of love, to ease their suffering, to let them go. This is the hardest part of the bond, the cost of loving a being whose life is shorter than yours. They cannot choose. You must choose for them. This responsibility is sacred and terrible. Your dog trusts you completely. Even in this, especially in this, love sometimes means goodbye. The last gift you give them is peace. The last gift they give you is the memory of having loved them completely. Dogs teach us that love doesn't require grand gestures or perfect understanding. Love can be a tail wag, a head on your lap, eyes that follow you across the room. It can be waiting by the door, greeting you like you've been gone years when it's been minutes, choosing to be near you when they could be anywhere else. Dogs love imperfectly, instinctively, without overthinking or second-guessing. They love because you're you, because you're here, because you're theirs and they're yours. In a complicated world, dogs offer simple truth. Love exists. It's real. It's enough. They were right beside us all along. And so, our quiet journey through the world of dog behavior comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from the tail wag's hidden language to the neural pathways of attachment, discovering along the way that dogs are not simple creatures living simple lives, but complex minds who chose to live alongside humans, reshaping both species forever. From wolves howling in ancient forests to the dogs sleeping at your feet right now, we've glimpsed how behavior connects past and present, wild and domestic, animal and human. We've met creatures who comfort when we cry, who greet us with joy every single time, who forgive our faults and love us without conditions, reminding us that the most profound bonds are built not on words but on presence, patience, and the choice to stay, again and again. Dogs remind us that love transcends species, that consciousness wears many forms, that we're not alone in this world. Much of their inner life remains mysterious. We can study brain scans and behavior, but we cannot fully know what it's like to be dog. Yet the bond is real, felt by both sides, measurable in oxytocin and visible in every reunion. Without dogs, humanity would be different, lonelier, perhaps less kind. Dogs domesticated us as much as we domesticated them, teaching us to care for others, to communicate across difference, to find family beyond blood. By honoring this ancient partnership, we remember that connection is possible between different minds, that love builds bridges nothing else can cross. In these final moments, take the deepest breath you can. Think about connection, dogs and humans, together for 30,000 years, each shaped by the other, creating a bond unique in nature. Your dog, real or remembered, is part of this story. Every dog is. The companionship they offer isn't accident. It's evolution, adaptation, and something deeper choice. They chose us. We chose them, and that choice continues every day. In every moment you're together, let your entire being dissolve into this knowing you are loved by a creature who doesn't need to understand you to love you, who doesn't require that you earn it, who offers connection as freely as breath. In the space between human and dog, something sacred exists. Partnership, trust, and love that needs no translation. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left between you and rest. Only peace, only breath, only the soft darkness, and perhaps the quiet breathing of a dog sleeping nearby. Good night. If this gentle journey through dog behavior brought you peace or made you think differently about the dogs in your life, consider sharing it with another animal lover searching for rest. Your gentle support helps more seeking hearts find their way to this sanctuary. One quiet share, one peaceful night, one connection between human and dog at a time. But there's no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight through the world of dogs. You can allow these thoughts of canine companionship to fade now, like a dog's breathing slowing into sleep, leaving only the warm peace of shared rest behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, like a dog settling into its favorite spot, circling once, twice, then collapsing with a contented sigh into perfect stillness. If sleep comes, let it carry you like trust carries a dog, smoothly, inevitably, into the realm where boundaries dissolve and consciousness dims and dreams begin their gentle work. If your eyes are still open, another journey waits in the queue, ready to continue. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the soft darkness where dogs also rest, dreaming their simple dreams of running and playing and being with the ones they love. Tomorrow, dogs will still be waking their humans with cold noses and wagging tails. Wolves will still be howling to their packs across vast territories. The bond between canine and human will still be growing, generation after generation. But tonight belongs to rest. Sleep well, gentle soul, and remember, you are loved as a dog loves completely, without reservation, without end. That love is real. Let it hold you now. Relax, listen, and drift with the animal kingdom. Good night.